This time, it was the 4th of July at Redbud. It's always crazy, and so is the racing, especially the 250s. Plus the rise of Justin Barcia. He Skypes in to give us some insight. We have a couple of AMA Pro flat track races, from the dusty Lima, Ohio, to the 3-rider photo finish in DeCoin, Illinois. And 162-mile-per-hour knee-sliding Moto America action from Miller Motorsports Park, only on the Racer X Show. Hello and thanks for checking out the show. I'm your motorcycle racing crazed host, Greg. And on this show, not only do we show you highlights and connect you with the sport's best, but we also tell you where and when to watch live races and catch them on TV. Plus how you can win a brand new 450 of your choice and help the pro motocross racers while you're doing it. So much fun. Let's do it.
The Racer X Show with Greg White is being presented by Acherbys, Soul and Passion, and by Yoshimura, the leader in performance exhausts.
Let's start the show with the motocross segment presented by Acherbys. Now, our last stop was in Maryland, and it was wet and muddy. The overall was won by Autotrader.com Toto Yamaha's Justin Barcia. Now, most said, yeah, but it was muddy. He's from New York. He likes the mud. But he also told us in the post-race press conference that his confidence is building, and he feels that he can run with these guys on a 450 in the dry. While Jason Wygant and Grant Langston have the full story. They'll start with the 250 class.
And as always, a huge crowd here for round 7 of the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship, sanctioned by AMA Pro Racing. It's the Red Bull Redbud National. Lucas Oil race recap here. Joey Savacci goes down after getting the motorsport.com hole shot. Leads Jeremy Martin in the lead, and you figure when he has the lead, it's over, right? But look at this. His teammate, Cooper Webb, jumps Larocco's lead and makes the pass to the defending series champion, and it would go from bad to worse for Martin. He would not only get passed by Webb, he would also get passed by Marvin Musquin, and then he would come back. He passes Musquin back, and then Webb gets a little lost in the lines here and makes a mistake. He tried to beat his teammate to the inside to block him, didn't know where to go after that, and this is it on the final lap. Jeremy Martin takes the lead. Unbelievable. He led first 3 laps and the final lap, and that's how you do it. Struggled at the beginning, strong at the end, and that's how he gets that win. Osborne, excellent job to put it on the podium in 3rd. Musquin just holds off Alex Martin to finish 4th. And it's the rest of your top 10. A crazy day in our 250 class. Christian Craig on the red Honda is just gonna grab the motorsport.com hole shot award. And Craig would lead more than half of this race. Well done for him in a comeback tour this year. But Cooper Webb would catch him late and then make this pass. His inside line to the left side had not been good all day, but Webb just wanted it bad enough to make it work. Hops out of the rut, cuts Craig off. Craig's gonna try one more move around the outside, and Webb just puts the bike in front of him again. Webb has this, but watch it. Down inexplicably. Wow. Craig and Martin are going to get by him here. Martin was in 3rd. He passes Craig for the lead when Craig gets held up by Webb's downed bike. And just like that, your series champion from 3rd to 1st in the moto. He'll win both of the motos today to win the overall and to put the little cherry on top of the sundae. Also retakes the series points lead for his title rival. Marvin Musquin struggled to 6th in this race. So if you look at the results, it'll just look like a great day for Jeremy Martin. End of story. But oh no, there was so much more to it than that. Craig and Webb had their moments. Musquin struggling a bit. And by the way, Zach Osborne, what a run, rallying for 2nd late. Cooper Webb ends up 3rd. Oh, what could have been. He had a 2-1 in the bag. And then the bag broke. And he ended up going down and finishing 5th of the moto, which gives him 3rd overall. Musquin 6th on the day, loses 17 points to Jeremy Martin. Here it is. Great start for a whole bunch of Yamaha riders. Motorsport.com hole shot for Justin Barcia, and his other 2 teammates were right there in 3rd and 4th, Nicoletti and Pike. But also in the hunt, Ryan Dungey, and at the halfway mark, Dungey pulls the trigger on this pass.
Oh, and he just commits down to the inside, finds a smooth line. Barcia has to hop out of the rut. Dungey to the lead. Looks like Barcia doesn't want to give up, but more momentum around the outside. Dungey gets it done.
And once Dungey took the lead, Barcia hung with him pretty good. The gap extended to about 5 seconds, And from there, Dungey was able to cruise home. Final margin of victory, 3.2 seconds, as Dungey cruised home on the last lap. And Barcia closed up a little bit. There you see him back there. Still a great performance by Barcia, a whole lot closer than he's been to Dungey at any point this year. Roczen ends up in third, and that one closed in a bit on Barcia down the stretch, but couldn't quite get to him. His teammate Tickle fourth. That's a great ride for him, ties his season best. Pike fifth. Needed that rebound after a series of bad first motos. Baggett, Noren, Hahn, Brayton, and Porcel. Top 10. Now for Barcia starts, lately haven't been an issue. It's of course holding off the likes of Ryan Dungey that has been the challenge. And Dungey gave it everything he had. Few mistakes here from Dungey just because he was pushing it. Now we know Dungey's fit down the stretch. Second moto, you know he is not going to get tired. But every time he threw something at Barcia, Barcia answered.
Oh, Barcia just did not give up. He fought and fought and fought. The crowd went nuts. They love seeing this on 4th of July weekend. Justin Barcia, 2-1 for the overall back-to-back weekends. We have a new title contender. Someone wants to throw their hat in the mix. Wow.
And again, for Barcia, who had been so down over the last year, missed almost this entire series last year with an ankle injury, switched teams, struggled, finally to claw his way back to the top. Well job, good job, young man. Ken Roczen finishes third in this moto. Somebody battling Ryan Dungey. It's always Dungey there, sometimes Roczen, now Barcia. Barcia and Dungey tie in overall points for the day. It's the tiebreaker as the second moto. That's why Barcia has the win.
How about that Justin Barcia? Right now he is on fire and full of confidence. But don't take my word for it. Welcome to the Racer X Show from his new apartment in North Carolina. It's the Autotrader.com Toyota Yamaha JGR MX Racing Team's Justin Barcia. How are you, Justin?
Thanks for having me.
Oh man, how could we not? The last couple of Saturdays have been phenomenal for you. You're on fire. First off, let's talk about Moto2 at Budds Creek. You rode like a kid playing in the mud, dude. Like, how's it feeling to be winning these races?
Oh, the feeling is incredible, really. And yeah, Maryland, you know, in our sport, you forget weekends. It's like, oh, we raced last weekend. I won last weekend. Ooh, big deal. Like, that's honestly how our sport is a little bit. But yeah, Maryland, it was hard to forget that, you know, I rode really good the second moto. I had a lot of fun in the mud. And, you know, just, you know, it was a good feeling, so.
Do you hear the chit-chat during the week that is people saying, well, the win was in the mud, can he do it in the dry, blah, blah, blah?
Yeah, you for sure hear it. I actually talked to my buddy Jeff Stanton, and I told him, I was like, hey, you know, we've been you know, friends for a while now, and I want to win in the dry. You know, that'll prove that I'm the real deal, and I'm back to, you know, getting back to 100% and feeling good. And you know, after the second moto, he texted me. He's like, well, you wanted to do it, and you did it. I said, yeah, it's a pretty crazy feeling, man. I don't know what happened, but we did it.
Dude, you certainly did do it, and it looked tough. Rough track, pressure from Dungey the entire moto.
Yeah, pressure was there for sure the whole moto. Within a second and a half the whole race, Dungey was behind me, so that was definitely, you know, I would say that was my best win I've ever had, just because I had so much pressure the whole race. But the track, I love that track. Everyone loves that track. It's just a good track, but it was brutal. You know, usually the tracks get braking bumps and stuff like that, but these brake bumps were big and deep ruts, and yeah, it was a tough one. But the fans were obviously incredible, like always there, and it was a special win for me and the team. It was my first back-to-back win in motocross on a 450, and it was their first back-to-back too. So we've been accomplishing things together, so it feels pretty good.
I've seen five-time Arena Cross champ buddy Antonez around. What's the Budman's role in your program?
Yeah, Budman is awesome. You know, when he was working for, so I didn't know Buddy that well. He was working for Tomac for a long time, and I always was just like, I wonder what's going on over there, you know? Always at the Honda track watching those guys a little, and I was like, hey, he seems like a cool guy. And kind of this year, I was probably after Glen Helen, Jeremy was talking, and he's like, you know, Buddy would, you know, help you out if you wanted some help. And I was kind of like a little nervous because I've been through a few trainers, and I was just like, I'm not sure what I want to do right now, but I was like, yeah, let's try it out. And we were out there testing, and the first day he was throwing stuff at me, and it was like, this is awesome. So, you know, me and Weston split all the expenses and stuff, and we both used him, and he's awesome, honestly, the best riding coach I've had, you know, besides for, you know, my dad. So pretty awesome, great guy. I believe that he's taken my program the past few weeks to to the next level for sure. But it's not just, you know, buddy, it's little things like, you know, I always tell everyone it's the little puzzle pieces you got to put together, and that's you know, getting used to the team, me getting comfortable on the bike, good setting. It's just so many little things, but it's yeah, buddy's definitely been a huge part.
All right, let's look ahead. With back-to-back wins in the mud and dry, has your expectations for yourself changed?
You know, wins don't come easy. It's not going to happen every single weekend. I know that. I've been racing long enough to know that's, you know, that's something that really doesn't happen every weekend. But yeah, we're definitely going to be pushing to be out front, winning more races, on the podium, and just staying healthy.
Well, Justin, thanks for joining us here on the RacerX Show. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Now, for the men in blue, this marks the first double-class sweep in the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross since 1998, when Yamaha legends Doug Henry and John Dowd teamed up to win the Broome Tioga and Southwick races in what was then the 125 and 250 classes. Now, add in 250 Western Regional Supercross champion Cooper Webb's return to form, not to mention the fourth straight MXGP win for the French sensation Romain Fabry in the FIM World Championships, and you have quite a weekend for Yamaha in motocross. Now, ProMoto is off this weekend, but you can catch all the action from 2015 with the archived races on ProMotocross.com. We know you love ProMoto. Now you can watch it anytime you like. And speaking of what you like, want a new 450? Make sure you're entered for this chance of a lifetime. You can win a brand new 2015 450 motocross bike of your choice from Honda, Husqvarna, KTM, Kawasaki, Suzuki, or Yamaha, and all the proceeds go towards funding the Asterix Mobile Medical Center. How? Head to wina450.com and purchase as many raffle tickets as you'd like before August 21st. Then sit back and wait for the winner to be chosen on August 22nd at the Bud Light Ironman National in Crawfordsville, Indiana. It's as easy as that. The winner doesn't even need to be present to claim their prize and will be contacted shortly after the announcement to choose their preferred brand. What are you waiting for? Get your tickets now at wina450.com and help support the Asterix Mobile Medical Center today. And that is our motocross segment presented by Acherbys. Now our road race segment presented by Yoshimura, where last weekend Moto America paid a visit to Miller Motorsports Park in Tooele, Utah for round 6 of their championship. Now in the smaller displacement super sport class, there's one race on Saturday and one on Sunday. And one rider has been emerging dominant. This after a 5-year drought from winning races. Here's a look at Saturday's race results on a track that usually promotes tight racing. Not this time. Yamalube Yes Graves Yamaha's JD Beach won his 4th straight by 5.5 seconds over his teammate Garrett Gerloff. But would a good night's sleep and a chance to work on the bike setup change things for the rest of the field? Well, with a killer launch, the man from Washington who now calls Kentucky his home started to dart away. So the battle for second started to heat up between a charging Bobby Fong number 50 on the Triumph, Josh Herron Wheels in Motion Mean Yamaha, and Garrett Gerloff on the blue and white machine. That was until Herron had a problem and had to pull out of the race, leaving these two to fight for the podium. But enjoying a comfy lead to the flag, JD Beach. Beach is 5th in a row and 7th win of the year. Not bad after a 5-year drought. Great ride by Cameron Peterson over Geico Suzuki's David Anthony. Beach is looking good with his 44-point lead. Next stop, Laguna Seca during the World Superbike weekend. We know you love road racing, and the premier series in the world, MotoGP, races in Germany. You can catch that live on Fox Sports 1 beginning at 7:30 a.m. East. And that is our road race segment presented by Yoshimura. Okay, now for the AMA Pro flat track action, and we'll take you all the way back to 2 weekends ago in Lima, Ohio, famous for pea gravel and dust, and where after a rain-delayed day, racing finally got going on Sunday. And in the GNC1 class leading up to the race, all eyes were on number 6 factory Harley-Davidson's Brad Baker. The Bullet had set the fastest lap in qualifying, won his heat, and took the win in the dash for cash. But we all know that the main event race can be something totally different. At the start of this one, it was Henry Wiles who jumped out to an early advantage and led the first 3 laps of the main, before Baker got in front. And then an accident involving Jake Shoemaker caused a restart. With that, Baker jumped out front and was never challenged for the remainder of the event. What you can't see in the dust, second place went to Sammy Halbert, who battled for that spot with Briar Bauman, who came home in 3rd. Jared Mees in 4th, good enough to move him into the lead. We'll talk about that in a minute. Halbert, his 2nd podium of the year. But Baker, his first Harley-Davidson GNC won presented by Vance & Hines of 2015, and his first Elite Class win at Lima. So let's hear from him.
Henry was doing really well and keeping me on my toes, and I was actually pretty nervous right at the beginning. I was looking down at my front axle and seeing that one of my wheel spacers was spinning around, and usually the forks that we have a pinch bolt on the outside that keeps it all together, and I didn't see that there. And since we fixed or switched to this awesome factory Showa racing suspension, it's changed, and man, it was working really good today.
Like I mentioned, Mies is fourth, good enough to move him to the points lead by 3 over Halbert. Smith's momentum halted for now. He was ninth. Now we jump ahead 6 days to this past weekend and the DuQuoin Mile in DuQuoin, Illinois. So far, the big tracks have been dominated by Crosley Radio's Brian Smith on the Kawasaki. But on Saturday night, it would be a 3-rider photo finish between Smith, number 1 Jared Mies on his Las Vegas Rogers Racing Harley-Davidson, and Zanatti Racing's number 2 Kenny Coolbeth, to the final lap with Scotty Dubler and Chris Carr.
We're going to race them to the checker flag. 1 rider down in the middle of turn number 1. Here's Mies, Coolbeth, and Smith. They kind of zigzag down the backstretch. Now Smith goes up the inside. Into turn number 3 they go. Here comes Smith. Mies shuts the door. Coolbeth to the high side of the racetrack. Now Mies drifts wide. He's taking up as much racetrack as he can. Smith lighting them up down there, coming off before. Here they come, Chris Carr.
We're going to have a three-wide deal as Smith pulls out of the draft, goes by up the inside.
Margin of victory in this one, 0.000. Kenny Coolbeth comes in 13 thousandths of a second, right behind Halbert in 5th spot. That extends Mies' points lead. Now he's got 8 over Halbert, who's drifting, with Brian Smith climbing the ladder in a hurry. This weekend you can catch live race action from the Indianapolis State Fairgrounds GNC 2 12-lappers at 9 p.m. East and the Premier GNC 1 at 9:30 p.m. It's all on fanschoice.tv. And another quick programming note, this weekend on MAB TV, you can catch ATV MX coverage from Ironman. That begins at 10 a.m. on the East Coast. Expand your racing mind and go see some races like AMA Pro Flat Track. They race up another mile at the Indy State Fairgrounds. I think I'm going to go to that one. MotoGP stops in Germany at the Sachsenring. Can Nicky Hayden win another open class race? ATV MX is in New Berlin, New York, and Unadilla this weekend. And in Asheboro, North Carolina, go race off-road Zoo City GP. There's a raffle to benefit the Kurt Caselli Foundation. Go race and go watch.
The Racer X Show with Greg White is being presented by Cherubies, Soul and Passion, and by Yoshimura, the leader in performance exhausts.
Okay, that's it for us this time. We hope you enjoyed it. Share this video with everyone you know and you don't know. You can also catch this show on Greg's Garage channel on Roku and UNC Charlotte's local channel. Cool, huh? Okay, for the fine crew here at the Racer X Show and Racer TV, I'm Greg. We thank you for watching, and make sure you keep it locked right here on Racer TV because we are all racing all the time. Bye-bye.